party here that worked for him on the table has constantly stylishly made a strong case for him, which is only apt. Once his boss, always his boss. And people are jittery. So for the likes of them, Keyamo and Wike, to come out and say, no, he should not run. And in fact, Keyamo went ahead to cite the fact that, there's a provision in the Constitution. And I'm happy that the Jonathan camp has brought out a judgment that we did not even know that existed in the first place. And the judgment had not been appealed. Then Wike too said yesterday, you should keep the position of an elder statesman and all of that. Yes, they are jittery. But you see, Wike also said many things yesterday, and that's the grouse I just have about all of this. A Jonathan running in the PDP, where Wike holds, would be a big problem for a Jonathan. And that's why those that are supporting him should look at this. Because with what I saw yesterday in the media charts, the PDP has not solved the Wike problem. It's still there, it's still rife. Wike was quoted to have said in that media chart that after we had done the work of fixing the party, somebody will now come. He said the same for Peter Obi, and he has a very strong point. You can hate him all you want. He was the one that scattered the party. They pushed the likes of Atiku Abubakar out with their wahala and everything. But you just thinking Jonathan will breeze in a party when them Wike reigns supreme and they fought for most of these things. It's not going to hold water. Because this was the same Jonathan that was being touted for the APC at a point. That was in the last election cycle before that ambition came to naught. So for all of those that think Jonathan will be able to have a quick inroad in a party that is largely dominated by a Wike, I think they should think again. And that's where we are going to have the battle royale. As regards, President Tinubu reacting to what was written in the papers, I'm talking about Daily Trust. I mean, we have cited the points that every region clamors and says, projects have not been done here and there. The government has reacted to it. Normally, things like this are not supposed to generate reaction, but because the way the politicians themselves have skewed this nation across regional lines, and that's why these things have become a problem. At first, it was muted by Kwankwaso. Now, the Daily Trust doubled down on it. And what happened next? The presidency reacted to it. In the president's response, there were a couple of mistakes people cited. The tweet was deleted at a point, and before it was put back there. I think what we should focus on should be the developmental gap we still have in the country. The fact that most parts of this country does not even have basic health care. Maternal mortality is still the order of the day. Look at the story we took yesterday where a woman in an Abuja hospital, because of 28,000, had to lose her babies. Look at the story we also took yesterday about the plight of pregnant women in the country. How a woman in Akwa Ibom had to lose her child because there were no doctors on duty. So I think, lost her life.
And the baby.
And the baby. So I think what we should focus on is the developmental gap and not all of this bickering and trying to celebrate political scores. When I saw there that the Sokoti-Badagry road is what this government said, yes, we are deploying and doing. These were roads that were highlighted to have been done close to 40 years ago. And we are just doing it now. It's not a slap on our faces. The Sokoti-Badagry road ought to have been in existence close to 40 years ago. Even this coastal road that we are talking about, the years, about 20, 30 years. So I think it is a gap, the developmental gap that we are behind on, that we should be talking about. Not the bickering about sentiments of one region or the other. But I don't also blame those that are playing the politics. Because people in power today also play that politics against people like Jonathan. Those that removed subsidy today were those that called subsidy Jonathan's tax over 10 years ago. And it was not good for them to remove it then. Now they've removed it today. And their bragging is a point, is a political point. They scored a political point. But when Jonathan also said they wanted to do the same, when we were at a better position then, it was a big problem for them. They needed political capital. Right. So when people do something and it's done in return for them, I don't have pity for them. It's the kind of politics they too have played in the past. They should enjoy it, how it feels like. Even when they were playing opposition politics, they said worse than this now. APC did worse than so why are they jittery now?
Okay. Dr. Bati, Your take on these stories. Yesterday, we actually took the Festus Keyamo story for the first time, so this is a follow-up, and of course, we joined us.
Okay. Now, two things here. Now, about the eligibility of President Jonathan, which is very controversial. The issue is as follows. It's a matter of law, first. It's also a matter of politics. I don't know which one you want to place first or second. Now, the truth of the matter is that there has been out there in the public domain attempts by members of the People's Democratic Party, some of them, including the governor of Bauchi State, including the senator representing Benue South, including Professor Jerry Gana and others, saying that they want President Jonathan to come back where he never left the PDP. That point must be emphasized, to lead the party. And that also Mr. Peter Obi should return to the party. He is the one that left the party ahead of the 2023 presidential elections, should return to the party. The calculation, particularly with regard to President Jonathan, that he, having been president once before now, would return to serve only one term, and that he will serve the interests of those in the northern part of the country who are saying, bring back our Goodluck Jonathan. So there is a tendency in the north that, look, to sabotage President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to make sure that the APC leaves government and that Tinubu serves only one term. Their best bet would be a man like President Goodluck Jonathan, who has very strong international reputation, to whom many Nigerians have apologized for, the misconduct, for the misassessment, for the wrong, narrative about him in the 2015 general election. I know many people who are apologizing to him. Now they want to make up. They are now saying, oh, bring back our Jonathan, bring back our good luck, having experienced, years of bad luck under the APC government. So they say. I'm not the one making that statement affirmatively. Now, the issue that has now arisen from this is legal. Namely, Section 1371, sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution, Section 137, sub 3 of the 1999 Constitution. And those who are pushing that matter are saying that President Jonathan can now be sworn in twice as president. But there is a subsisting Federal High Court of Yenagoa case decided upon by Justice Dasham, that's his name, when two politicians went to the Federal High Court in Yenagoa and argued that President Tinubu, ahead of the 2023 election, because there were persons who were saying President Jonathan could run in the 2023 election, and Justice Dasham, quickly, in order not to go into legalese, said that, look, that amendment of Section 137, sub 3, does not apply to President Jonathan. It's a trite principle of law. Any sophomore student of law, will know that legislations, laws, enactments, statutes cannot have retroactive effect or retrospective effect. Section 137 sub 3 having been amended to say that a man who has been sworn in twice to the position of the president of Nigeria cannot run again, will not apply to President Tinubu. The position of the Dasham, which has not been appealed at a higher court of jurisdiction, is simply that the law cannot have retroactive or retrospective effect. In other words, President Goodluck Jonathan is qualified to run. And the fact, Justice Dasham also said in that particular case that he was vice president does not preclude him from running again. So on the surface of it, however, Chidi Odinkalo has written an opinion saying, look, this is a mischievous judicial system. Judges looking for favor from the Tinubu administration may want to use it, to play the game one way or the other. That's Chidi Odinkalo's opinion. But we hope that if the APC uses this matter, that the judiciary will stand up on the side of the truth of the law. Secondly, you know, there's an opinion by Onikekwa Braithwaite. Onikekwa Braithwaite in This Day Law Pages Today. She is the law editor of This Day. She's saying there is a lacuna between Section 137 sub 1, Section 137 sub 3. Well, she tried to define what the lacuna is. But the superior argument will lie in the Court of Justice Dasham and the decision, the 2022 decision, which has not yet been appealed. However, in the midst of all of this, President Jonathan himself has not spoken. I know Robert Azibaola, his cousin, rejected the advice, the counsel given by third parties, particularly Festus Keyamo, SAN. And he says, well, nobody is soliciting for, you know, advice. President Jonathan himself has not come out categorically to say this is where I stand in this matter. Ikechukwu Eze, who is the current media advisor to President Jonathan, has also written a piece on the back page of This Day newspaper yesterday, you know, where, you know, he said, look, we're not looking for advice. The president can make you up his own mind. However, you know, that's the way it is. But we would like to hear either from Mr. President Jonathan or from Mr. Peter Obi, you know, all these speculations.